up one come all, those short, those tall. There may be some clowning around, but you'll get an earful all in all. No need for waivers, no need for saviors. Don't be frightened, do not hide. Enter now and enjoy the ride. So step right up, those far and near. The attraction is set. It's Ear for Fear.
Hi, welcome to the Ear for Fear podcast. This is the podcast that talks about scary movies or movies trying to be scary. I'm Rick.
I'm Morris.
What's up, man?
What's up?
What's happening?
So we're talking about a movie we just saw today.
Just a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Of course, I feel like we're always at a disadvantage when we only see it once.
Yeah.
It's not like some of these other movies where we've seen them like 100 times. You want to tell them what movie we're doing?
Yeah, we're doing the 2024 brand new vampire movie called Abigail.
Abigail.
Let me out.
Let me out. Oh, man. Yeah, we just saw this a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think?
I liked it. It had elements of a lot of different horror movies that we've seen.
Yeah. I liked it. I liked it too.
Yeah.
I didn't love it.
Yeah.
But I did like it.
Yeah, it did have the
it was very entertaining.
House on Haunted Hill remake, with the house closing up kind of thing,
Yeah, I did have that.
Yeah.
Let's see. You want to do a quick synopsis, quick plot, whatever?
Quick plot synopsis.
Synopsis. You want me to do it?
I guess I could do it. Let's see.
Yeah, just wing it.
Let's see.
Wing it.
A group of professional criminals kidnap a ballerina daughter of a crime lord and hold her for ransom and have to wait 24 hours to get paid.
Yeah,
and shit goes astray.
It's funny because we say professional, but they didn't seem like professionals, did they?
No, they didn't.
They seemed like kind of this group of just I don't know. No, I don't know, man. They didn't seem very professional.
Ragtag.
Yeah. There you go. That's a good one. Ragtag. Yeah. I guess we should do full spoilers.
1, 2, spoilers coming for you.
Yeah, in case you want to see the movie, watch that first, then come back to our review, which will give full spoilers.
Full spoilers. Yeah, so let's run down the characters here. We got Joey, which I believe, let's say Joey's probably the main character here.
Yeah.
I think probably next to Frank.
Yeah.
Obviously, Abigail is the little girl who is a vampire.
Yeah.
A ballerina.
Vampire.
A ballerina vampire, because that comes to play a lot in this movie. And it's kind of cool. Like, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Like, like her putting on the records and stuff and then dancing and,
Oh, yeah, totally.
Let's see. Rickles, Sammy, Peter, Dean, Lambert, and the last character is the father, but honestly, he's just, we could talk about that later.
Yeah.
They call Lambert basically calls them the Rat Pack, right?
Well, because they were like, well, are we giving names? And it's like, no names.
They're trying to,
They're trying to.
It's
keep
almost
the,
like in
animated. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you obviously don't want to exchange any sort of names or any sort of personal information, because if someone gets caught, then you can rat them out. It's kind of like in Reservoir Dogs, right? Like they just had colors.
Oh, yeah.
know?
Mr. Pink,
Mr. Blue,
Mr. Blue.
Yeah.
So Lambert, who is the organizer of this heist,
Giancarlo. Is it Giancarlo or Giancarlo?
Giancarlo.
Giancarlo Esposito from Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad.
Yeah, and he's like the modern fucking villain of most stuff nowadays. Like, he's in The Boys.
Oh, is he in The Boys?
Yeah, and then he was also in Star Wars. He's in The Mandalorian.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
I haven't watched either of those.
He plays like a moth leader. Like a moth leader is like a leader from the Empire. So
okay. Wow. So
yeah.
he's doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
then, huh?
so he's like a bad
And
guy.
I thought he had a television show too that was coming out on.
Oh yeah. What
was it on AMC or something?
Yeah, Parish.
Parish.
Yeah, that's the name of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's doing a lot of stuff, man.
So yeah, he came up with Rat Pack names for everybody, and he's just like pointing at people and just saying,
Yeah.
you're Joe, you're Frank, you're
Rickles,
Don Rickles,
Don Rickles, Sammy,
Sammy, Peter.
Yeah. So the idea here is, at least we're made to believe that they are. Lambert has come to Frank, and Frank has put together, I guess, this, like you said, this group of the quote unquote professionals. They all have like a job that I guess that they're good at, right?
Yeah, one's like a good driver, one's like a medic, another
one does. She's like good with like computers and crap like one is just the big guy.
Yeah,
I forget.
He's like the heavy.
Was that Peter? I can't remember if that was Peter or was that
Peter.
Peter.
Yeah.
And so they all kind of have their designated things that they do.
Mm-hmm.
The idea is, we're going to kidnap this girl. No one knows who the girl, who the father is of this girl. And we're going to hold up for a night, and the idea is to get $50 million out of the father.
Yeah.
And obviously, this is the thing, man. It's like, well, we didn't know who the father was, but I'm like, yeah, because everybody just has 50 million lying around.
Right.
Typically, if someone has 50 million lying around, dude, it's either some famous person or they do stuff
that's bad.
Is bad.
Yeah.
So come on, it's like, so they kidnap her with a few little wrinkles, nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
They get out of the house because they take her from her home after her ballet practice.
Yeah,
and this is what I was thinking, and all the signs are there, right? Because we know who the father eventually ends up being, right? But if he's a big time, like we're made to believe, why does she not have a bodyguard with her at all times, right? I mean, isn't that normal?
Right.
To have a bodyguard? I mean, obviously we find out she doesn't really need one, but
no, she doesn't.
But so they drug her, they take her away in a van. They go to this old looking kind of house / mansion. It's kind of like in between. Like it's pretty big.
It's big, and parts of it it looks like it's been there for a while. And it looks like it's kept. And then there's parts of the house that look very unkept.
Yeah, like we saw, like I think there were like drywall or was torn down in one of the bedrooms. Like you could see through the wall, but then other areas look very lavish.
Yeah, like the library and stuff, and the great room.
Exactly.
I mean,
looks like there's beautiful marble. There's statues. There's artwork.
And as soon as they kidnap her and bring her to this house. And even during the trailer, I'm like, I know Giancarlo Esposito's behind it.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, okay, you have 24 hours, and then you guys get paid. And then you look at this house and you're like, okay, well, why does it have to be this house? And whose house is it?
Yeah.
You're kind of... I was led to believe that maybe he was the father,
No, I never thought he was the father, but I knew he had something to do with it. It just made sense, right? Like,
and then especially when we saw, they're talking amongst themselves, and then we see that statue of that guy, the man with the hat, and then the young girl.
Oh, for sure.
I'm like, oh, that's her this is her fucking house.
Oh, of course, dude. Of course. This is It obviously felt like the whole thing felt like a trap, like a setup.
It did.
And the thing is, too, we've seen enough of these movies, right? You're not going to introduce Esposito and then and then 2 seconds later take him away if he's just to disappear for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
He eventually is going to show back up for a purpose. I mean, it's just we've seen enough of these things.
Because they could have hired anybody to be that actor.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
exactly.
Yeah, he's there's a reason.
But they're at this house. The Abigail is in. She is handcuffed, and she's in one of the bedrooms. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna assume this probably used to be her bedroom.
Yeah,
because there's probably all these secret passageways and shit to get through the house, right? I mean,
she knows the house well, I'm sure.
Because what we find out is this happened so many times before. Yeah. So this was just another group of people.
Yeah,
and what we find out later on is that it's basically people that have done her father wrong.
Right.
She wants to basically kill them.
It's almost like Saw, except instead of traps, she's the trap.
Yeah.
Because Saw is always like a redemption thing. It's like, okay, make your choice. You know, he brings all the people that are all part of this one thing that, you know, they fucked up on.
Yeah.
And then, it's all these people had done her father wrong in one way or another. And from what we hear from her, because a lot of the stuff she says we just don't believe, right? She's she manipulates. Mm-hmm. She's very good at it. I mean, she looks like a little kid, but she's been around for probably hundreds, if not, I mean, at least hundreds of years, right? Because she just doesn't age. She's like Kirsten Dunst in fucking Interview with the Vampire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because didn't she say later on in the movie, this is the room that my dad turned me in?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, you know, the house is old and she's old. But when she was turned, she was a child. So I guess in the rules of, I don't know, being a vampire, you maintain that same age.
Right.
This movie, though, seemed to add some new caveats to the whole.
Yeah.
You know, like the rules, because we're so used to certain rules when it comes to vampires,
right?
And some of the rules still applied, I think.
Mm-hmm. Garlic obviously doesn't work. You know?
Garlic didn't seem to work.
No, sunlight does.
Sunlight does. But what was interesting was them blowing up.
Yeah,
like which was kind of cool. Like I mean, cool. You know. Because I mean, it's funny, man. We've seen enough vampire movies, and we know the certain tropes, right?
Yeah.
But then it's like, well,
I know you.
Then we kind of like, so then we find ourselves like, well, but I'm like, well, first of all, vampires aren't real.
Yeah.
So really, you can kind of add whatever new rules or tropes you want.
You can add to the rules. Make your own rules. Yeah. These blowing up they're extremely reminiscent of I know you never watched True Blood, but True Blood, never. They did that.
Oh, they did. They blew up.
They blew up like that
when certain things happened to them,
like
sunlight,
or if they got stabbed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they blew up.
Oh, I thought maybe I knew it wasn't original, but
yeah,
I never watched True Blood, so that was a normal thing in True Blood.
And like Buffy, when they got stabbed, they turned to dust.
They turned to dust. Yeah, so. That's kind of a lot of things, right? Like if you're outside. In like it's daytime and the daylight or the sun, it starts to kind of burn you and then you turn to dust. I mean we've seen that a lot in vampire movies.
Yeah, this one they sunlight makes them blow up.
Yeah, and then if they get a stake through, like say the heart, they blow up. Mm-hmm. Which is cool. I just didn't realize it was a thing in True Blood.
Oh yeah,
huh? But so. They're supposed to wait 24 hours.
Yeah.
Only one of them is supposed to go in there and just check on her.
Yeah, because they want only one to recognize her voice.
Yeah, and that's Joey. Joey gets the duty of doing that,
and
which kind of makes sense.
Played by Melissa Barrera.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's in the new Scream movies, and I know you haven't seen.
I haven't seen it. I just don't care. Yeah, Scream wasn't one of my favorite, I guess, franchises.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think I enjoyed the first one a lot, and then after that, I lost so much interest. I really just don't care.
Yeah,
it's kind of, to me, it's one of the weaker franchises, but I'm sure other people would disagree with me. But anyways, so the idea again is wait 24 hours. You're gonna hold tight. That's what they think. Of course, this is a whole setup, and they're going to get basically, killed one by one, and it's just simply just her fucking with them, right?
Yeah,
because she could,
she could just kill him right away.
Yeah, but she's just toying with them. She's having a good old time.
It's a game.
It's a game for her. Yeah.
This is all set up to be a game.
What I'll tell you in the movie. Okay, and maybe you could answer this for me. I know with some of these movies, if they have too much of something, whether it's too much blood or whatever, they have to be very cautious with the rating, right? Mm-hmm. Because the tail end of the movie, there was a lot of blood and gore. But the first two killings, they were kind of lame, right? The first one was it Dean?
Yeah.
Was Dean, and we see him get grabbed and pulled away, right?
And then we see the aftermath.
And the aftermath, which is his head falls off.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so is that intentional? They do these things because they know as the movie progresses, there's gonna be more blood and guts, and they're afraid they're gonna not. No, I just don't know.
I didn't think they were afraid. I think it was meant as a stylistic thing, because it's like, we've seen that in so many things where it's like, hey, come on, buddy, and their backs to them, and then they shake them, and then the head falls off.
Head falls off. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like that way in Sleepaway Camp, the Thanksgiving trailer,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we've seen that in a lot of different movies and media stuff. So
I just felt, I don't know.
I just felt like it was stylistic.
Stylistic? So that's what you thought? Because I thought the next death, which was Rickles, like he sit there and you could tell like there's a thing going on between him and Joey. We're not sure what that thing is, but there's something there.
Like they trust each other.
Trust, yeah. Where they almost seem like they're the only two that kind of have their shit together.
Yeah.
Maybe they could trust each other. Yeah. And the other ones are not so much. I'm not saying that the other ones aren't trustworthy, but they just are different, right? Like,
yeah. Well, they look like they'd give up each other for, to save their ass.
Probably. But the Rickles death was like, again, I was a little like, I wanted to see something like, cause all we get is like, they have this little conversation, him, Rickles and Joey, and she turns around to walk away, and then he goes into the room and he's just standing there. And obviously we know something's wrong.
I thought I kind of thought maybe his throat was slashed.
I thought something like that.
Yeah.
I thought maybe what we would get. I did when they panned back and he was, you could kind of see his silhouette in the.
Yeah.
I thought maybe he would split in half.
Yeah, me too.
Because it didn't happen in Vampires.
Yes.
When they were partying at the motel, and then the vampire, what's his name from
Bobby
from
Sons of Anarchy.
From Sons of Anarchy, and splits him in half. Which that one's hella cool.
That is cool.
I thought maybe we're gonna get something like that.
I did too.
Where like he's standing there, right, and he's just. And then maybe he just kind of splits apart. Yeah. I thought that would have been kind of cool. But what we got was just like, I don't know.
His cheek was like bit. And then
he was bit a little bit.
And then maybe his neck was bit.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And then, I mean, he died. We never see him again. So it wasn't like it was where she was trying to turn him or anything.
No.
She was killing him. But it was, I don't know. It was kind of, like I said, man, it was a little bit of a letdown for me for those.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I mean, because as the movie progresses, we get the same 4 people, right? Other than Abigail.
Yeah, and not, I mean, there's not another killing for a while.
For a while.
Yeah.
I mean, she's messing with them and toying with them, and, because, I mean, doesn't she, with, what was his name? The big guy. Is it Peter? Peter?
Yeah.
She takes the crucifix, right, and she stabs him like a ton of times.
Yeah,
but it's so small.
Him.
It's not going to kill him. It's like so small. And
she pulled the crucifix off of his neck and then just
started stabbing him.
So.
And then with Frank, she took the part of the pool cue and put it through his leg.
Yeah,
which was kind of cool. I did like that.
That was cool.
But dude, we got all kinds of stuff going on before there was like even a next death.
Yeah.
And so that's why I felt like, and I was cool with what was going on. Don't get me wrong, but I just felt like we got a little cheated.
Yeah.
With the first 2 deaths. No, you didn't feel that way.
Well, with what's his name? God, Dean. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't terrible. Because I've seen it before, but that worked. But yeah, the one with Rickles. Yeah, I think I think he should have split or something, like you said. I was expecting something like 13 Ghosts, you know, or
when the glass comes together,
or
and
Ghost Ship, you know, yeah.
That's what I was thinking too, like something, or at the least, like say he doesn't split in half, right?
Yeah,
and he's just standing there and he's making a noise, so you know something's wrong. What if his head just came off?
Yeah, but then it would be too much like
Dean's.
Like Dean, yeah.
But so I just felt it was kind of,
yeah.
I don't know. I just kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say lame, but it was kind of lame.
Yeah.
Like it just did nothing for me.
Yeah.
There
should have been a little bit more. Thing I do appreciate about this movie is all the practical effects.
Yeah.
Dude, there didn't seem like there was that many CGI stuff.
No, I don't think it did, huh?
No. I think everything seemed
like
pretty practical.
Yeah. I loved the teeth. I thought were cool.
Yeah.
Because we see that as the movie goes on, because a couple of people change.
Yeah.
And I liked the teeth.
Teeth reminded me a little bit of 30 Days a Night.
30 Days a Night?
Yeah.
Oh. I've only seen that once, so I couldn't really remember what the teeth look like, but I'll take your word for it.
That's a favorite of mine.
Is it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but she's just essentially just messing with them, man, and then they kind of have it out with her, right? Like the 4 of them against her. They finally, because look, the garlic isn't working. Bullets aren't working. Mm-mm. She's done this so often that she's very sleuthy, very, very like good at this shit.
Oh yeah.
Like she kicks some ass, dude.
Oh dude, she does.
She just kicks some ass. And then the fact that she's tiny, but she's very strong.
Very strong.
And agile, and she's beating their ass, and they come to this conclusion. Well, we know when we drugged her initially, she was out, so we know that'll work. So they had, I guess, 1 syringe left, and after a tussle and a fight, I think what's her name got bit. Right? Was it Sammy?
Sammy did, yeah.
Sammy got bit, but they got her in a cage, and she was it an elevator? It was an elevator.
Yeah, it was like an elevator cage.
Was it not working?
No.
Not a working elevator.
It didn't seem like it was.
So she's stuck in this elevator, basically a cage, and she's not getting out. And then we get
we think.
So we think. Yeah, so we think. And then we get these kind of backstories of each of the remaining characters, at least. That they all did something to her dad. Yeah. I don't remember all of them. I can't remember. I think one was like
embezzled money from him.
Took money from him. That might have been Peter. Was that Peter who took money from kind of an organization that was an offshoot organization of her father's?
Yeah.
Frank had, I think, 3 guys that were part of the organization were going to turn on him and testify.
Yeah.
They ended up dead. And I can't remember what Joey's was. Something with, I know she was basically a junkie, right?
Yeah.
I don't recall what but.
Oh, she got addicted to opioids.
When she was in.
She was an active military, like a military doctor. That's the disadvantage of watching it once.
Yeah, and I think Sammy did something where she was probably embezzling some sort of money. Yeah. I don't know. It was something
with
like
computers.
With computers.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Is like we're trying to remember all of this, and we're old, so we don't remember as well as we used to, even though we just saw it a little bit ago. But we get all this exposition, and then she's trying to make a deal with them, like, hey, all right, you let me out, 2 of you will live. And then the next one, it was like, okay, well, that deal's off the table. now one of you will live, and it'll be the only one that lets me out.
Yeah.
And I was kind of surprised that Peter was willing to, maybe not so. I guess he was kind of dumb, but
yeah, that's something that they were saying is like he's all muscle and no brain. You know?
Yeah.
But then that's when Joey shoots him.
Yeah.
And she shot him in a place where she knew he'd live, and that since she's a medic, she knew how to like treat his wound.
Treat him, yeah. But then the three of them leave, right? And Frank is left there, and she tells him she basically says, "Look, there's a way out. It's in the I don't know. It's near the library. It's I forget what the book was.
Oh,
do you remember what the book was?
And then there was none.
And then there was none.
Yeah, the Agatha Christie novel.
Oh, is that Agatha
yeah?
Christie?
So basically, it's like there's a killer that's killing all of them, but until there's
none.
None, yeah.
Yeah, because doesn't Sammy fall? She falls down this. I don't know where she fell. There's some sort of hole.
Yeah.
It was into the swimming pool. I don't know how she fell into the swimming pool,
dude. And then all the bodies,
all the bodies that,
and you could tell they're all practical.
Those were
dummies.
Those were all practical.
Yeah.
And she's been doing this for a while. But it's like, damn, how many enemies does this dude have?
I know. And I mean, it is a movie, and you'd think that would the bodies be that fresh? No, unless she just killed him like a month ago.
Yeah, unless this was just like a thing that she does like every week or something. She
or every few days.
I mean, but that's a lot of planning.
That's
a
lot of planning
because you got to get the people involved that have something to gain, at least in their eyes.
Yeah.
That they're going to get some money out of this, and then she has to spend enough time doing the research on who they are, and then they have to figure out the job and do the job, and
right.
and believe they got to, all these different things. But they did look pretty ripe.
And there was like at least 50, 60 in that.
Had to have been. I mean, the pool looked full.
Yeah, it was full.
So
of all these,
it
was nasty. It reminded me of a scene in Phenomena, which it goes by Creepers. It's a Dario Argento movie.
Oh, okay.
Where shit, man. Now I can't think. This is what happens when you get old. Jennifer Connelly's character, she falls in the same thing where the pool looked the same. It was nasty, where it had that thick like
Jennifer
layer.
Connelly was in a Dario Argento movie.
Yeah,
she was.
Yes,
you sure it was her?
It was Jennifer Connelly. It's
really how? I mean, it was newer then. No,
it's 1985.
That was before Labyrinth. Was that before Labyrinth?
It was either before or right after. It was filmed in the same year.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I didn't have
and
no
Donald
idea.
Pleasance is in the movie too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Huh. 85.
Yeah. I have the movie if you want to borrow it.
No, I'm good. No, I did not know she was in a Dario Argento movie.
But she falls into a pool. Same thing, and it's just nasty. It's kind of reminiscent, of course, of Poltergeist, but at least the Poltergeist pool was just muddy. This one's got like a thick layer of like maggots and just
well,
nasty.
it's not an Italian horror movie. It doesn't have
it's
maggots.
got a film on it, and the flies were buzzing and stuff. So
does every Italian don't they all have maggots and all? I think it's like it's like a must. It must be in every.
It's a prerequisite.
It's like, oh, hold on, how many maggots? What's our budget for maggots in this one? Oh, very nice.
Well, I think they're trying to like gross you out, and it works.
It does work because, oh God, what is it? The Gates of Hell. I know it's. I know it's multiple other names, but when I saw that
City of the Living Dead.
City of the Living Dead. When I initially saw that, I was young. And I'm pretty sure I saw that at the drive-in. And I think again, my mom used to take us to the drive-in. And dude, I remember seeing a bunch of Cheech and Chong movies. Definitely saw Motel Hell there. And I think The Gates of Hell was there. And I just remember a few scenes. And I remember there was a scene with maggots. I remember the drill scene.
Oh, yeah.
There's certain scenes I remember, man.
Dude, I remember first time I saw that movie, it was The Gates of Hell. It went by that title.
Yep.
And we were in Hawaii. I was with my aunt and uncle and my cousins. And my one cousin, he's like a year younger than me. We were trying to figure out, what to do that evening. And we were staying in, and it's like there wasn't anything on cable. Well, there was a little mom and pa video store down the street. And this is Maui in Hawaii. And we ended up, my aunt and uncle rented the VCR.
I remember you could do that.
Yeah. Remember you could rent a VCR.
Yep, I remember this, yeah.
And then we rented like a couple tapes, and one of them was Gates of Hell. I think the other one was what was the other horror movie? God, I can't even think. But we watched the Gates of Hell. We didn't end up watching the other movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think once my cousin Greg went to sleep, it's like I didn't want to be awake watching that movie by myself.
By yourself, yeah.
But this is like 85, so I had to have been about 15 or 16. So
when did it come out? Was it early 80s?
It was 81.
81, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna think, I'm almost positive, dude, I saw that around the time it came out.
So you had to have been 9.
9.
Yeah.
Because we used to go to the drive-ins when I was a lot younger. Yeah. As I got older, we didn't do that anymore. And I wouldn't say I was probably 9 or 10.
Shit.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Like, what the hell was my mom thinking?
What the hell was I thinking?
Dude,
showing some of the stuff I showed Dylan at a young age.
At 9, though, that's some messed up shit, man. It's like, but there's some Cheech and Chong to balance it out. I'm like, okay, a couple dudes that just get high all the time.
Smoking weed and then having booby girls.
Booby girls telling jokes I just don't get because I'm too young to understand, God. But I remember, dude, like, I remember seeing that one. I remember seeing Motel Hell. Yeah. I don't recall some of the other ones we saw. Definitely a bunch of Cheech and Chong movies, but that was fun, though, back in the day, hanging out at the drive-in.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was like a big family thing, and then we'd have friends, and we'd hang out with friends, and it was kind of cool. Anyways, we got off topic.
Yeah, it's all good.
All right. So
yeah, Sammy falls into the pool of bodies. She's trying to get everybody down there. I don't think anybody else got to see the bodies, did they?
No, I think she came up.
Yeah, she came up. She got out of it.
And reeked of funkiness.
Yeah.
A funky death smell.
Yeah.
But they eventually, like I said, get Abigail in this elevator, but she breaks out. It's like,
but before she broke out, remember, they're like, okay, well, Sammy goes, well, nothing's hardwired, everything, the electronics doesn't work, but if I can find where the main switch is for because the windows and the doors locked up.
Yeah.
Very much like a House on Haunted Hill style, where it was the, like thick, whatever on the windows.
Yeah.
So she's like thinking, okay, well, if I can just figure out how to run that back and reset it, then we can get out of here.
Get out, yeah.
So her and Peter go downstairs, or go down like this corridor.
Yeah, and again, through the whole movie, like always, everyone splits apart.
Yeah, which is dumb.
It's never just, I mean.
But I think it's supposed to be tongue in cheek. It's like they know that it's, I mean, the directors are like, we know this is a dumb idea.
Of course.
And these are dumb people.
It's your standard trope, man, with a lot of these movies, right?
Yeah.
They never stay together. They always split up.
And then that's when people die.
They start dying off one by one, and it's like,
yeah, Sammy still has that bite on her arm, and then that's when Abigail uses it to her advantage.
Yeah, she basically uses her as a puppet, right?
Yeah, which like I said, I've never seen that in a movie before.
I swore I have, but I couldn't tell you where at this point.
But yeah, she made her like a conduit of Abigail's doing, and because she was speaking in Abigail's voice, and then she had the teeth, and she was totally Abigail.
Yeah, and basically bit Peter in the neck, and I mean literally ripped his neck open.
Yeah, and he's bleeding out,
and he basically bleeds out. Frank and Joey come to kind of check on it, and Sammy's back is turned, but Joey knows. Yeah. Joey knows, like, hey, Frank, you need to run.
Yeah, and that's another trope from like horror movies, like Lamberta Bava, with demons, what's wrong with me, and then they turn around and
I know. what was I going to say? I did think the dance was kind of interesting.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was to a Danzig song.
That was a Danzig song.
Yeah.
And that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm digging. I mean, Sammy looks like Abigail, obviously, look, she's got the teeth and stuff, but she still kind of looks like a little kid. But Sammy looks very, I don't know, vampired out, man. Like very dark and just kind of.
Oh yeah, she totally looked like a demon from Demons.
Or like something from like Night of the Demons or something, a demonish, something, some sort of demon. But yeah, definitely, dude.
Almost like Karen Black at the end of Trilogy of Terror with the little tiki doll.
Oh yeah.
The little Zoomy, Zoomy warrior doll.
Yeah. But Sammy, but Sammy starts chasing Frank and Joey, and they get into the room where because it's light out.
Yeah.
But because the house is so dark, it's like there's not a light, a lot of light that shows through, and then Sammy comes into the room, and they're in the light.
Yeah.
And I think Abigail's speaking through her son, and she says something like, "Yeah, I remember this room. I didn't have fond memories of this room, and this is where my dad turned me. Blah blah blah." And then she starts to go after, and then Joey grabs that
the silver platter.
The silver platter. The light shines off of it and blows Sammy up, which again is kind of cool, right?
That was cool. They were just covered in blood.
Dude, they were, and so that was kind of cool. But so now really the only two people that are left. I mean, Abigail is still messing with them.
Yeah, and
it's Joey and Frank. And Joey and Frank, they eventually are searching through the house, right? A door opens, and obviously it feels like a trap, right?
Oh, it's a total trap.
And then isn't that where they find Lambert?
Yeah, Lambert's in there at a control panel, reminiscent of House on Haunted Hill again.
Yeah. And he's of course turned. And it doesn't surprise us that he's turned. I don't know, I
thought he was going to be the father, but then he says that Abigail turned to him like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and
I guess Abigail threatened his family, right?
Yeah,
so he basically turned him, and he's been doing all these things for her.
Yeah.
If not, then I don't know what happens. I don't know if she goes out to the family. I'm not quite sure.
But yeah, she set this all up. It was her doing, setting everything up. It wasn't like her father,
No.
Which I thought it was her father.
I never thought it was her father. I'll be honest with you.
Really?
No, never thought at all it was her father. I felt it was. Honestly, the two people who it was, I kind of thought it was.
Oh, just Lambert and her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Made sense, right?
Yeah.
Because the father just seems so disconnected with anything other than.
Yeah, she seemed like she was pretty sincere when she said that her father was kind of absent. Yeah.
Like really didn't care much for her.
Yeah.
But Lambert makes a deal with Frank. Hey,
let's take her down.
Yeah, I'll turn you, and then the two of us will kill her, and then the dad will come. We'll kill him, and then we'll kind of take over this
organization.
Yeah. And Frank, being who Frank is, because you get this impression that Frank is kind of a douche, and he's done a lot of bad things over the years. Because he was a detective.
Yeah, he was a detective.
So more than likely a dirty detective. Yeah. Did some bad stuff. So he ends up turning on Lambert and puts a stake through his heart, and he explodes.
Yeah.
And then tries to kill Joey. But and so at this point, and I don't know, man, I'm curious on what you thought about this.
The movie kind of slowed down for you?
I don't know if slow down is the word. It changed courses on me, and I think this is where it lost me a little bit. Mm-hmm. I was fine when it was Abigail trying to do whatever she was going to do to these people. Whether it was right or wrong, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Then when the agenda changed and it became Frank is now a vampire, and he's trying to kill Abigail and Joey and kind of take it. I wasn't really feeling that. I don't know.
Honestly, the way you're describing that and the way I'm remembering watching the movie, it made me feel the same way I felt. And I don't know if you remember this movie or if you've even seen this movie, but Jennifer's Body.
I've seen bits and pieces.
Megan Fox's character towards the end of the movie, it's like her and Amanda Seyfried, are fighting and going back and forth, and the boyfriend. It kind of made me feel the same way. It's supposed to be a climactic, fun thing, but at the same time, it's like, been there, done that. It wasn't great, but I guess they needed to figure out a closure on this. So that was, I guess, the best way to do it.
I felt though that the way they were going with it was fine with me. Like, could Abigail just have been this? Look, her intentions here are to kill the people that have wronged her dad, so that he would care about her. But now
she's siding with Joey.
Yeah,
and trying to take down Frank.
Yeah, the course just changed so quickly, and I don't think I really liked it that much. I'm not saying that
because Frank turned into the bad guy at that point.
He became the bad guy.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, well, now Joey is trying to save Abigail. And kind of vice versa, because Frank's trying to kill Joey.
Yeah, they're like working together.
Yeah.
To take down Frank.
I just wasn't really feeling
and
that.
the thing, and then I think I told you this. I was talking to you during the movie about this. I was like having a little bit of a problem with the fact that Frank just turned into a vampire.
Yeah.
And she's been a vampire for centuries.
Yes.
And in some vampire lore, the older of a vampire you are, the stronger you are. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're a little kid or if you're, an adult or what. It's just, the older you are as a vampire, the stronger vampire powers you're going to have.
Yeah.
And the fact that Frank seemed like he overpowered her sometimes during their fight.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. If
it wasn't for the fact that Joey and Abigail worked together, I don't think they would have.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have killed Frank.
It's almost like they were going, okay, well, he's a full-grown man. That's why he's being tougher. But I mean, that doesn't. I mean, I guess that's the avenue that they were going. But
I don't know.
Because we saw how Abigail was taking them down. She was a badass.
Dude.
And then they kind of like made her kind of wimpier going up against.
Yes, they did.
Going up against Frank.
And I understand at one point he bit her and drained her, right? Because she even says, I'm not that strong right now.
Yeah.
I kind of was like rolling my eyes at that. I'm like, really? It just seemed kind of goofy to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I guess that would be my gripe, is like I felt the way it was going was working for me. Mm-hmm. And then you just changed direction on us, and I just wasn't...
And turned Frank into like the ultimate bad guy.
Yeah, I just wasn't
Instead of just like a douchebag that needed to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how did Frank end up dying?
Oh, they stabbed him. And then he blew up.
And then he blew up?
Yeah.
That's right, because doesn't Abigail say something like... She says some sort of line like, "You're quick to this vampire thing, so you don't know all the cool ass tricks," or something.
Yeah.
It was something. It wasn't exactly that, but it was on the lines of that.
Yeah.
And then they both kind of teamed up and push into his heart, and he explodes.
Right.
And then Joey goes to leave, and
she's like, "You can." Oh yeah, that's right. Abigail's gonna let her leave so she can be with her son. And they seemed like they had a moment because, Abigail's father has been absent, and then Joey's worry is the fact that she's been absent from her son. So it's like Abigail's saying, all you have to do is show up.
Yeah.
He'll accept you.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
So she goes to leave, and then we see pant legs of the father.
And
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, who's this big bad?
And when this happened, I turned to you and I said, this just wasn't needed. Like him showing up at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
There was no need for it at all. It was useless because Joey ended up leaving anyways.
Right.
So what was the point of it? In my eyes, there was no point.
Well, I think from when we were on the car ride back, I was looking up, who he was supposed to be, just the father.
Oh yeah.
And what was his name? They were calling him Lazard.
Lazard or Lazardo or so, I can't remember what it was.
Something, and he goes, "Oh, I've gone by many names."
Yeah.
So the internet was alluding to the fact that he's possibly Dracula.
Sure. Sure.
And this is possibly setting up maybe a cinematic universe of movies to come after.
You think?
That are all kind of connected. That's what some people were speculating.
I don't know. I my gut's
I hope not.
I have my gut's telling me no.
Yeah.
I just felt like, again, he was, if that's what they're going to do, then I guess there was a point to him showing up. But I thought he was going to be this just bigger than life, like, character and just look, I don't know, badass and evil. And he didn't look like any of that.
No, he was the actor Matthew Good. And I know him from a couple things. I know him from The Watchmen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he played the smart superhero. I can't think of his name right now.
Okay.
And then he was also he played in the the HBO show about the making of The Godfather. He was one of the producers.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't see that.
He which was a very good miniseries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
no, I couldn't tell you I had seen him before. He just didn't look anything like I thought the father would look if he was gonna show up. I just thought this big, powerful figure.
Brooding, yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't have to be big. He just had a presence about him, and he had none of that.
Well, he did look like Dracula, though.
Okay, well, he's vampire. He's a vampire, so of course he's going to look vampire-ish.
Yeah.
He had the teeth, but he just didn't come across to me like I was kind of hoping he would.
Yeah.
If they were going to show, he was going to show up. So it was, like I said, this isn't a bad movie. I did enjoy the movie. It was entertaining. There was some good, gore and blood. There's some funny parts. I thought acting was solid. Like you said, the practical effects were cool, but like, I didn't love it. Like, I wanted to love this movie and I liked it and I would watch it again.
Yeah.
I'd definitely watch it again. But it didn't blow me away.
Yeah.
Like, especially maybe if they had changed the last 10, 15 minutes and didn't do what they did, maybe I'd have liked it more.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
I enjoyed it. The ending was predictable. It reminded me of so many other movies. I didn't hate it. I like it. I probably will buy it on Blu-ray.
Sure.
Or 4K.
Yeah, I think it's a solid horror movie.
Yeah.
It's a solid vampire horror movie. And I love vampire movies. I mean,
definitely a good double feature with, say, Ready or Not.
Oh,
yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that.
Because that was supernatural with the cult and the new bride and
had that feel to it.
Yeah, it totally had
it did. Or, well, no, I was gonna say what was it? Renfield, but no, that's just too. That
was too goofy.
That's two vampire movies back to back. But yeah, that's Abigail. I would definitely recommend it to someone. I said, hey, check it out. Some people might like it a lot, but it's a solid movie. Solid movie.
Yeah,
we've seen far worse.
Oh yeah,
we've seen better though. So that's Abigail.
Yep,
that's it. Anything we missed?
No, I don't think so. No, I can't think of anything. Yeah, just things I pointed out. I think I talked to you about already.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything like I'm trying to think of as anything that we that maybe we thought was pretty cool that we just haven't touched on. But I think we kind of talked about most everything.
Yeah.
I would say definitely check it out and let us know what you think. Shoot us a message on Instagram or something.
Absolutely.
But, all right. Well, that's it, man. Again, I've been lazy. I haven't changed the outro. So I think I said this on our last episode, Late Night with the Devil, which was pretty good. Check that out. Is that no website and
just find us on
Instagram, YouTube.
Yeah.
Probably some other platforms we're out there on.
Yeah.
Where you find your podcasts.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, Dan. Well, thanks for coming out, bud.
Yep.
Appreciate it. We'll see everyone later. Take care.
Bye-bye.
You listened all the way to the end. We appreciate that. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Ear for Fear Podcast, Twitter at Ear for Fear, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Ear for Fear Podcast. You can also check out our website, earforfear.com, There we list news and events. We're available on all the main platforms, so make sure you tell a friend. We hope you come back and get an earful.